My artisanal croissants are not selling. I wonder why, Jennifer. You're not open before breakfast. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that makes plenty of sense.
10 out of 10. Oh, side note. Oh, I lost it again. I was going to start and talk to you about something. I was going to say something to you, but I forgot
About
what it
me
was.
and the ye old revelry and merriment.
I don't think it was about that, but there you go. How did you enjoy that?
It was pretty cool. I hadn't been to a Renaissance fair since I was like a kid, like 12, 13, 14,
It's
somewhere
probably
around
the
there.
same Renaissance fair too.
Dude, it was it was pretty legit. I mean, you definitely see some characters. You see some people who really invest.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who like take it as like an excuse to just really just
Just a cosplay.
yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought you were going to
Well,
get an excuse to get blasted. And I was like, oh, fair
Well, no,
enough.
that too. Once
No,
it starts
yeah.
getting later, like, people
Yeah.
pregame hard.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
this dude who walked out of one of the porta potties. It was like he was talking to his wife. He was like, "Hey, somebody pregamed real good in here." I was like, and she's like, "What? There's nips in there?" And she's like, "No." He's like, "No, there's like whole fifths in there, like empty." It's like, I'm just looking at him like, "Yes, sir."
Nice.
And me, like committing to the role, like Becky and her cousin, they dressed up, and her cousin's boyfriend, I guess he has some kind of costume, but he didn't finish it, so he didn't wear anything. I had a burlap sack, and I wore
saw
it.
that.
Yeah,
And
I saw
I'm
that.
gonna tell you, I got more comments, especially from people who worked there, than like anyone. It was like, dude, the commentary on what you have to say about this fair right now. I want to hear it. Like,
It's interesting. People do take it really seriously. And for you to go in and just like roll up with a burlap sack, you're basically saying like all of you are blowing this way out of proportion.
well, I mean, at least I committed. They're like, hey, at least you did something.
Yeah,
it's better than
exactly.
the guy walking around with like a Patriots hoodie.
Fair,
Which,
fair.
I mean, I wouldn't wear the Patriots hoodie, but I would definitely be the guy who just walks in and doesn't get dressed.
Oh yeah, no, I would never.
We'd bring the burlap bags, boys.
Yeah, just bunch of burlap sacks for everybody.
I walked up to some one guy near the bathroom, and he was changing the trash. He was a guy working there. He's taking out the bag and everything. I looked at him. I was like, "Would you lick a hand, sir?" He looks at me, I am skilled in the art of baggery. And he was like, "Nice." Like, no, I'm done. I'm
Nah.
good.
It's like, I don't get paid enough to do this, dude. I got a Snapchat that morning from you, and I was like, "Are you LARPing?" And you were like, "What?"
What?
I was like, I thought you were like,
I'm pretty sure my test came back clean.
yes. I was like, because like people do that thing. I've never participated in this, by the way. So like, I apologize if I'm like completely off. But like, people like go out into the woods, dress up as like medieval stuff, and just like stage reenactments of fights.
Hey,
And I thought
Is
that's
that
what
that's
you were
called?
doing. Yeah, LARPing, live action role
something
playing.
that's
Oh.
really cool, like the real weapons that they were forging and actually
yeah.
like making.
Oh, they like
selling.
physically made stuff there?
Dude, yeah, there's two places that had like handcrafted weapons.
That's pretty legit.
Sharp.
That's
Do you want
pretty
to talk about
sick.
sharp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I would like to do. Like try to be a blacksmith for like a very short
We'll
amount of time.
we'll talk about that because
Oh, yeah.
there's classes in Providence,
Oh, is
and
there?
I know somebody who's already like, hey, you want to come down and learn how to like forge metal?
That's
and,
pretty
and-
legit.
and-
I'd
and-
do that.
and
That
do
is
that
pretty cool.
stuff. So we'll see if we can get some time.
Could have a blacksmithing team.
Guy, you know how legit that would be?
That would just add to our resume
That's
of random
such a
stuff
random
that we do.
skill. To
Yeah,
have.
what do you do? We create creative content and swords.
And
Best swords on our off time.
Armor for cats, which is a thing.
Hey, actually, that's number one. We're making armor for Kobe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
cool.
that'd be pretty ball.
You know how much like that would take his level of intensity like way up.
Nobody
Yeah.
would interact with your dog again.
Most people don't interact with my dog anyway.
Yeah,
They start
exactly.
hyperventilating.
You walk down the street with a pit bull with an armor on it. It's like
It's gonna go one of two ways. People who love dogs, you're like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
People who are already afraid of dogs are gonna cross the street and then cross the city.
Listen, I already have people. Dude, there's people like that live in my neighborhood that have dogs. The minute they see him outside, because I don't ever put them on a leash, they all cross the street.
Yeah.
well, dogs have that reputation, like especially pit bulls, because it's a mix, right?
Yeah,
Kobe's a mix.
he's only like not even like half. He's not a super pit bull.
No,
he
but
looks-
he has
he
that
looks like a
look.
pit
though.
bull, yeah, he looks like a pit
he has that look, and it's unfortunate that dogs have like reputations and stuff like that.
Yeah, based off of like that. Kobe has nothing to do with it either, but he has
Yeah.
a reputation based off of like 3 dogs that messed up.
Mhm.
That weren't even their fault. Probably it was probably like poor treatment of their owners.
Rip Michael Vick.
Yeah. Oh,
I have no
jeez.
idea. What
Rip.
we're talking about. It sounds familiar though.
Football quarterback who like was running like a dogfighting ring out of his house.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty baller.
Yeah. I think it was like in his house too. I don't think it was in the backyard. I think it was like in his living room or something.
Wow,
Nice.
that's a large abode to have a dog
know.
fighting ring.
I really don't know.
In your, that's like listen, I know dog fighting is bad. That's pretty baller. Like for you to have like an event held in your living room.
but then you have half a farm in your backyard. You have like dogs and like roosters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a farmer.
I'm a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those questionnaires. It's like you're a quarterback. You have 8 dogs and 12 chickens in your backyard. It's like, yeah. Any other farm animals? Nah. Just dogs and chickens. just dogs.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of weapons, I went to go to the pizza place and I parked.
Welcome to New Bedford.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
I'd never been into one like to a karate place before, so I never been
Oh
inside.
yeah.
Oh,
But it
what,
was-
like Metro?
I don't remember the name of it, but it
On,
was
on Route 6?
no, it was the one over here next to Domino's.
Oh, I don't know.
And so I'm parked and it's dark and like you can't really see into the building, but a car pulls up and he has his headlights on and then it like shines through the building. And then like right there in the back of the building, you just see a wall of weapons.
Nice.
And like not just like nunchucks, it's like sickles
Yeah.
and like swords. And then I look over and it's like kids karate training.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, what?
Listen, but what kid wouldn't want it? Like,
Oh,
Exactly.
I agree. But like you just have a bunch of kids in a room and then you have like a wall of weapons that are not locked. Just
no.
there.
I'm sure they're relatively safe.
yeah, especially where
I wish I would have taken a picture. I couldn't get a good
Fair
picture.
enough.
where they
But-
work with those kids too. Like, I mean, that's like a natural boy's instinct. When I was a little kid, I used to get in trouble even in preschool. Like, we would find like saws or anything that like resembled the shape of a gun and like run around and shoot each other with it.
Yeah, which
Fair
is
enough.
fine. I'm not saying it was wrong or right. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is I wasn't expecting to see that when I was sitting there. And I was just like, and I just like took a second look, and then the headlights stayed on, so I really got to analyze the wall. And I was like, wow.
Eric's standing out in the rain, staring at the wall of knives in the room. That's all. Like, that's
Well-
perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, if we like just analyze society and like have some commentary on society, up until like the 1950s, you could still buy like a camp rifle at Sears. Actually, into the 60s.
yeah.
Like, gun violence wasn't a problem in our nation.
I feel like way past the 60s, you can buy guns at Walmart.
Oh,
Walmart, yeah.
Well, and there's certain Walmarts you can
You
still
do
you
that,
You
yeah.
can still buy
But
guns.
like it was like any Walmart you could buy like until like probably like 10 years ago you probably still could.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, within our region and whatever, we have to have licensing and certain things. But like, you could just go into the Sears catalog and just like call up and be like, hey, like send me a rifle, and be like, okay, right to your front door, no big deal, camp rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, I guess it must be commentary on like a degradation of a society versus like just a difference in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. I think it's a respect thing because like karate's all about respect in like a lot of different ways, and I
Right.
think that it's more of like respecting the weaponry. And once you respect the weaponry, then you can use it without any like major issues whatsoever.
But you get moral training in karate too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, like you said, respect. And it's like once you breed the culture of that respect and that reverence to one another, reverence for somebody else's life,
Yeah.
that really like puts it into perspective. It's like, okay, yeah, now go mess around with these Chinese throwing knives and
Yeah.
and whatever else. It's like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna throw it at my friend. Like,
There's a lot of that in karate. I wasn't aware in like martial arts in general. It's super like into the idea of you don't use this unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And it's like Tyler was saying, like respect for the other person's life and like understanding that it's kind of like being able to do something and not doing it is more respectful than just throwing your weight at somebody. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to observe.
It's more of a defense. Is
Yeah.
what you're learning it for.
right, and we can really see. I mean, there's a big emphasis in that within like like I guess say Far Eastern culture, and Middle Eastern culture when it comes to like Judeo-Christian values. Everybody believes that that people are made in the image and likeness of God, so therefore they have a value of their life rather than just like, oh, this is a person like kill or be killed.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a morning conversation about weapons, so let's roll in the intro.
Basically. Actually, that's an interesting segue, like legitimately, into like the idea of excellence, because there's like a lot of people who study karate for like their whole life, or martial arts for their whole life, and like just hone their skills so directly.
Yeah.
And it's really respectable, because like I don't think I've ever been involved in something that deeply that I would spend 30, 40 years of my life doing the exact, like not the exact same thing, but like refining a craft so delicately. And it's interesting to see.
It's a beautiful art too. I've always wanted to learn like some sort of like defensive fighting technique. I don't know if karate would have been the one, but it's just definitely like an art to it, where your body is a part of it. Your body is the yeah. There you go, Tyler.
That's commentary. That's commentary for Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon gets that one.
He's
gonna slap the microphone into the coffee. Okay.
Yes.
That's my defensive fighting technique.
Just run away.
All right, so who's rolling it in?
Oh, you want me to read the thing?
Oh,
We got 4 minutes.
Well, first off, we can say, yeah, go ahead. Go. No, me? You?
welcome to the Life Podcast. My name is Eric, and I'm here with Tyler.
Yo!
Benji.
Hello. I didn't understand that's what Eric was meaning by like let's roll it in. I was like, okay,
I
we're
said let's
talking
roll
about
in the intro, but that's fine. It doesn't matter.
I forgot we had an intro.
What's up, intros? Like, share, subscribe, smash all of those things, do all the stuff.
Fair enough.
Smash the stuff, like the stuff.
So Tyler
Get out the
added
weapons,
this-
boys.
Get out the weapons. So Tyler put this quote in the show notes. Excellence is the result of caring more than others think is wise, risking more than others think is safe, dreaming more than others think is practical, and expecting more than others think is possible. And that's Ronnie Oldham.
So in a nutshell, going above and beyond.
Yeah. The first part is very important. I think that's really what we can focus on for the rest of this block. Excellence is the result of caring more than others think is wise. And I think that that's what sets a lot of people apart, where it's all like, if you just devote yourself entirely to a thing, whatever that thing is, and you stop thinking about the cost-benefit analysis and you just pour into something, that's where excellence is bred.
Yeah.
And that's like something that a lot of people just don't do.
Well, that sets you up for innovation too, or that sets you up for a breakthrough. I mean, you think about it. Most people, you can learn a skill, but then it takes you 10 years to master that skill, and then it might take you even longer to be able to innovate and do something that nobody else ever thought of or did.
Mm-hmm.
And that idea of removing the barriers too, because it's like if you devote more time than people think is wise, and you think of these big companies who have like these unlimited budgets, quote unquote unlimited budgets, and they just have PR teams. I mean, not PR, research and development teams that are the largest expense line on their budget every single year. Where Apple like invests like $20 or $30 billion a year into research and development. And it's like, how do you spend that much money? And it's like, well, because you spend more than everybody else is willing to spend, and eventually you're going to find something.
Yeah, absolutely. You're willing to take the quote unquote be the outlander and do things that other people aren't willing to do. But because you're doing that, that's how you get to the innovations and to places where no one's ever been before. Mm-hmm. You're willing to take that extra risk. So, I mean, let me just read this quote for actually word for word. I apologize. I've been sick all weekend to anybody who's listening to me, so my voice might be a little weird.
Stop being self-conscious.
Oh, well, I just got to pull it out there and just apologize while I can. Caring more than others thinks is wise. So, and just putting the effort forth, even in like wanting to hone in on a master of something, you know what I mean? Like whether it be music or anything else, you have to care about the art of it and care about like wanting to be the best at it more than anybody else or more than anyone thinks it's smart. But you have to be fully invested into this. You can't be halfway into something and expect to be excellent at it. It's funny because before we started this episode, before we started recording, Benji, you mentioned that like excellence is just a human mindset. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not really logical. Like if you're doing 80% of something and you complete it successfully, why achieve more? Mm-hmm. And it's like that idea of like us humans get bored. You know, we want to keep challenging ourselves and challenging the people around us in order to get to a new echelon. And you can't do that without excellence, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. A funny little example that just came to mind is the idea of like platinum achieving a game, like 100%ing a game, and it's all like, okay, so a new game comes out and everybody wants to be the first one to complete it 100%, like get every single achievement and get every single point or whatever. And then the focus shifts to now how fast can we do it? And now it's like now there's like races on YouTube of how fast you can complete a game 100%. And it's like, why do we do that? That's not necessary. You're kind of like circumventing the idea of the game as a whole, which is to enjoy. And you're going and saying, okay, I want to do this thing faster and I want to complete it 100% before anybody else does. And it's an interesting human thing. But we're going to take a really quick ad break and we're going to talk about this later.
Stay tuned.
We would like to thank Anchor for sponsoring and hosting the Life podcast. So who are Anchor and what do they do? Anchor is the all-in-one platform that gives you everything you need to make and publish your podcast. And best of all, it's all free. Anchor allows you to use their creative tools to record and edit your podcast. No need for any fancy professional equipment. Sounds amazing, right? And we haven't even gotten to the best part. Anchor isn't just a recording and editing platform. They're a publisher too. This means that Anchor takes care of all of the hard stuff, like publishing to Apple and Google Podcasts, so you don't have to. So what are you waiting for? Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Another thanks to Anchor for hosting, publishing, and sponsoring the Life podcast. Ranged super villain genius guy, and like it's either going to be one of two ways. Either he's going to blow up the world or he's going to make the world like a massively better place. And there's a very fine line between those two things.
There's a very fine. I love how that's the two ways it's going to go.
Oh, absolutely. Elon Musk will not go into obscurity. Like he's gonna do something.
Well, like we were saying for Patreon, like he'd be driving down the 405 and just like burning it down and just be like, you know what would get me in faster, man? If I just like drove under the city. And sure enough, he just makes this underground tunnel that can get him there.
Yeah, and not only did he think of it.
That's the dangerous part. Is like he gets high.
He live tweeted this.
I don't want to say he gets high. Okay, but anyways, he does whatever he
by
does.
self-admission, he definitely gets high.
Okay, I don't know if he was high.
With Joe Rogan, and he was like
just
smoking
a
on
blunt.
the show.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so he gets high.
You didn't
right?
see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
So he gets high, right? He gets a crazy idea, and then he has the power to make it happen.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's that excellence factor. I don't care what it costs. I'm throwing all my money at this.
Yeah. Also, he got approval to drill a hole underneath California.
Yep.
Like, how do you even have that conversation?
Hey, the freeway's here?
Yeah.
It'd be great if I could just drill a hole.
Yeah.
We have earthquakes all the time.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. His idea is crazy. Like it's really legit. Like the cars will come drive on and then it'll go underneath and then they'll
just rocket to the other side of the city.
Talking about
Pretty
Elon
legit.
Musk too, he's definitely like he's a big risk taker, and he's one of those guys who you can see in action put 100% in Plan A every single time.
Every single time.
And like even if Plan A cooked it, like Plan B followed up really fast. Like what was it? The Model 3 production.
Oh yeah.
He was falling behind on units big time. He was like, we're in trouble because we can't make enough by now. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna convert this entire parking lot into like a mobile manufacturing plant.
And he puts his money where his mouth is.
Like,
He's always falling behind like on production numbers because he promises a lot of stuff. But like if the company's like losing money, he'll just sign a check, which is like absurd.
Yeah.
Like that he'll just bail out his own company every single time.
That's respectable. If you bail out your own company, I respect it. If you get bailed out by others,
It's legit. It's
Listen,
legit.
that's his baby. That's his reputation. That's him.
Yeah.
And he truly believes in it. And that's the dangerous part about when you get somebody who truly believes in something, and it's all like Elon Musk will have $0 in his bank account before Tesla shuts the doors.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he will
Either
live
he's
in a
gonna have an
cardboard
evil
box.
layer on Mars, or we're living on Mars. One of the two things are gonna happen.
He's like the modern day John DeLorean, but without the cocaine.
Yeah. Well, no,
and without ripping the entire like car industry.
well, he like, I mean, Phil, fair enough. I mean, Elon Musk is also really messing with a lot of people. Did you see the announcement with Porsche and
Yeah,
Boeing?
I saw it.
Oh,
I didn't.
Porsche and Boeing have like teamed up, and now they're gonna make like sky taxis or whatever. That's like Porsche. Porsche official press release called them sky taxis, which is just like a helicopter, but
Sky
whatever.
raisin.
I guess that's spicy sky raisins.
Yeah, I got stung by a spicy sky raisin yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Wasps.
Extra spicy.
Extra spicy. Ghost pepper sky raisin. Okay, fair enough. Back to this quote. Can you read it, please? Do you have it?
Yeah, I got it right here. Excellence is the result of caring more than others think is wise, which
Elon Musk does.
Elon Musk, right? Risking more than others think is safe. Elon Musk.
Let's land a rocket vertically, not even with a parachute.
The rocket that NASA has always just trashed and just like, oh, we'll build another one.
Well, that's the government budget, boys.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
like,
fair enough.
it's not my money, not my ponies.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess.
Elon Musk's like, I'm spending how much?
No. We're bringing this thing back. We're using this again.
He's like,
I'm not gonna spend that much money. I'll use it once.
Listen, guy, that's like washing paper plates.
imagine that conversation with an engineer. Be like, you see that thing? That 3-story metal tube? It's like, yeah. It's
want
like,
that
I want it
back.
back.
You what?
It's like, what? Yeah. Land it.
All right, so caring more than others think is wise, risking more than others think is safe, like the tunnel under the 405. Dreaming
putting-
more than others think is practical.
Elon Musk is this quote. Like it is. He's like crazy. It's like risking more than others think is practical. Like this dude literally almost went bankrupt himself to start Tesla.
Multiple times.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Tesla was like 3 days away from bankruptcy, like every other week, in like the last.
And you know what's so crazy too? Like Tesla was always like on like walking the line of like cooking it. And he's like, "No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna start a space program."
Yeah,
That'll float it.
it's like you see this car company that makes no money, space makes more money.
You know what'd be great?
We'll-
Let's
we'll
just
start
send one of these
PayPal.
into space.
Yeah, PayPal started it off. Yeah, Elon Musk started PayPal.
We can do. They'll give us money.
Yeah, but then he bought a McLaren and totaled it the same day that he got it, so the
Nice.
insurance didn't cover it.
$1
$1 million gone.
Imagine telling Elon Musk no.
He doesn't. There are report like you've talked, like there have been like articles written by people who work there. He's like, you say no to Elon Musk and he will make it his mission to prove you wrong. He's like, you'll be in a meeting and you'll be like, hey, yeah, we can't do that, and he's like, bet, and he just does it, and you're
4
just
days
like,
later, he buys a new company. What is he doing?
basically. Solar City, which was owned by his cousin or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know he owned that.
Oh yeah, and he's all like, Elon Musk's like, we need more solar panels, and we're buying it from this company that my cousin owns. And he's like, you know what? Why don't we just buy the company? And there you go, boom, Solar City now part of the conglomerate.
What
Problem
you
solved.
you wanted customers?
Yeah. I am my own customer, Elon Musk. Fair enough. Continue.
That's not a verbatim quote.
Yeah, yeah.
I have my own customer, Elon Musk. All right, just from the top again. Excellence is the result of caring more than others think is wise, risking more than others think is safe, dreaming more than others think is practical, expecting more than others think is possible.
So, like, Elon Musk is like the extreme of this. Like, he is definitely like, the guy that you just think of him whenever you hear that quote. But you can show these little glimpses in your own life as you do things. Maybe not on that scale because you don't have those kind of dollars to play with. But even in your own life, even as something as simple as just everything that you're in control of your life, whether it be school, your job, or if you just do a podcast every morning, whatever it is, you can really showcase these elements into everything you do to get you to a new level. And just pretty much, I think the first step to being excellent is just showing up. And just actually just being present with what's going on instead of, there's a lot of people that, this might be like a left field thing, but there's a lot of people that come into things and they may not be there 110%. They may have their life divvied up where it's 30% here, 40% here. So their focus is the same, and whenever they show up to their job, they're only there, only 30% of them is there. And you can never show excellence in that type of scenario. You have to be focused. You have to start separating or compartmentalizing your life in order to be able to achieve new levels of quote unquote excellence.
Well, if we take part of that quote, it says caring more than others think is wise. That's the real big one. We can see like take the China model we were talking about. China can go and produce like a knockoff brand of whatever you do at 80% of what the top end is. It's like, okay, nope, somebody's gonna buy it. Oh, that's good. It works. It works most of the time. Yeah, that's fine. Send it out. Casting tolerances, we don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, it did the job, yeah, but did it really like innovate or change anybody? It's like, no. And the first step was really caring more than others thought was possible. Think about like Elon Musk and think about have you ever seen a Model S in person? Or like if you look inside of the Model S, like the interior of that car, never mind the drivetrain, is I mean, it's innovation. It's because he cared more than everybody else. He could have just slapped some old Ford switches on there or had a contract with any other car company to buy his switches and everything. It's like, no, we do it all in-house. We do everything off-brand, and we'll do it for cost.
And there's a sacrifice to that.
That cost him actually making any money at all. It's like, oh, I have to float my company to be able to get these cars out.
Absolutely. And it's like that sacrifice is real. And it's like we talk about Elon Musk a lot because he's a very innovative person, but there's a sacrifice in his life. It's a monetary sacrifice. He got divorced in the proceedings of all of these companies. He's not a healthy person. He doesn't sleep. Like these are things that they're sacrifices that he's leveraging in his day-to-day life that is affecting his long-term like his long-term survival, but he's using the leverage to forward the things that he thinks is real. It's the same thing with our day-to-day lives. You can't be excellent without sacrificing something. Yeah. You can't go in 40 hours a week and do something and just like passively do something and then go home and never remember it and be excellent.
Absolutely.
Right. Like you say you go to work and you use a piece of equipment, just like per se, you use the piece of equipment par for course. It's like, okay, you use it and you just put it back. The next level above that to start walking towards excellence, it's like, okay, you put it back, you plug it in.
Yeah.
Thing above that, when you're done using,
make me so mad when people didn't plug in the machine. Oh, go ahead, continue.
but if there's no like procedure in place, I guess.
Yeah.
Where it's like all you had to do is show up.
Yeah.
The bare minimum of your job is show up, use the machine, and then put it back when you're done.
Yeah.
That's par. To walk towards excellence, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and plug it in. That's caring a little bit more than what Jimmy next to you thought was wise.
Yeah.
And then Jeff said, why are you gonna do that? Like, they don't pay me enough to go and wipe down the machine. It's like, yeah, but you're not doing an excellent job. And that was the next level. It's like, okay, well, then go wash your machine or go do whatever that is. Take care of it. Make sure that it's all good. You're not scraping it against walls or. I'm just kind of.
No, absolutely. But that's the sacrifice. Is the idea that it's like, okay, I might not be getting paid for this, or if I'm getting paid for this, I could be doing something else or not doing anything at all.
Right. I could just leverage it by just be like, I'm gonna go eat a Pop-Tart in the break room, like.
Exactly, and it's not like you're going. It's excellence is doing more than is necessary. That's the real goal here of this conversation. Is like, are you doing more than you absolutely need to? And I don't think a lot of people are. I don't think most people in their day-to-day life are doing more than they absolutely have to.
Well, we had that one take about that too, and Eric asked me the question from the peanut gallery, saying like, what's the difference between 70 and 90 when 70 is a passing grade? And we said when promotion time comes around, 90 gets it, not 70.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny that as you were explaining that, it's almost like the standard is society, essentially, whatever their standard is. And I feel like that standard has dropped substantially over the last, X amount of years, where like you look at, like, you just see somebody with the basics of common sense and all of a sudden they're shining above everyone else.
But it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I feel like, and as that standard drops in society, because people get lazier and lazier, and they just like, they just keep hitting subpar, keep hitting subpar, that the one moment where someone just goes, just that extra inch of just whatever, the extra inch of caring, all of a sudden this person is above everyone else.
Which is good news for us, because you can look excellent real easy, especially if you breed a culture of excellence.
Funny example. Since like in this last month, me and Benji have noticed that nobody works on Monday.
Nobody works on Monday. It's so dumb.
No, let me, like, if you work in a factory or stuff like that, yes, absolutely, you're working on Monday. But I mean, like, storefronts and things like that.
No.
You gotta work through your hangover. I mean, come on.
Business owners have become just like, no, I'm not opening. Like, the old timers even are just like, yeah, well, sometimes Monday. And it just blows my mind. So like whoever actually is open on Monday, in my mind is like, oh, they're overachieving. These guys they know what's up.
No word of a lie. Like Eric and I have had to pound the pavement for a little while when we started this new project. Literally, no one open on Monday. Like, what do you do? How do you open
In our own city.
How do you own a company and not work on Monday? It's like, and not only do they not work on Monday, you open at like 9:30. it's like what if I work 9 to 5? When am I supposed to come to your store if you open at 9:30 and close at 4? It's like, and then you're like, "Hey, guy, the business is rough, guy.
Yeah, right.
I can't make rent." What do you? Of course you can't make rent. You're not working.
Right. And everybody else is at work while you're at work.
Yeah, it's like,
I sell things. Let me just be open while everybody's at work.
yeah, it's like my artisanal croissants are not selling. I wonder why, Jennifer. You're not open before breakfast.
No, that's legit.
That's real.
It's.
Do you guys remember
sorry.
that story I told of that girl I saw in Shaw's? And I told her, I was like, I don't know what this means to you, but if I had a company, I would hire you right now on the spot.
Yeah.
And all she didn't really do anything excellent, but it was the fact of I didn't see her behind like the shelf. As she was supposed to be on a register, and she was like, "Oh, no, I can take you over here." I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, no. I was just trying to stay busy while and she was restocking the shelf when she was actually on register. She was just like, "Oh, I saw it and I had to take care of it." I mean, that's like a really, really small thing, but you know what? Right from that note right there, I already looked at this girl and I was like, "You are excellent.
Yeah.
You are absolutely excellent."
Absolutely.
When she took my transaction, she just did it well. She didn't have to like really talk to me. She didn't even say much.
The blinking light of death didn't go on.
No, exactly. She did what she was supposed to do. She did it efficiently. She was kind. She wasn't over and above like, "Hey, sweetie, hey this, hey that, hey,
Yeah.
hey, baby, hey, honey." Like, number one, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like when
Take
people
notes.
It's not even so. It's like when you have to lay it on and like schmooze people to try to get an extra tip. Like,
Yeah.
no, just do it and do it good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what she did. So she did her job. She did it well. And while she was on her off time, she found something else to do.
Yeah.
Unless there was nothing else to do. I mean, she could have stood there and still been excellent. But just that little extra of like, oh, I got to fix the thing on the shelf.
Yeah.
Cooked. Done.
Absolutely. Just going a little bit above me on.
Excellent.
It's maximizing efficiency.
Oh, we will be back after this quick commercial break. Just kidding. There's no commercial. Stay tuned.
Concrete jungle. Yes.
Sorry. That was a Dobrik thing.
Rip our boy, Dobrik.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a video to
talking
show
about that, Liza Koshy did an episode of Hot Ones.
Did she?
Did she?
She did.
How's she doing?
Yeah.
She did another
I don't know.
skit
Not
with
a fan of Koshi.
Nah.
She did another skit with Will Smith too to promote his Gemini movie.
I'm gonna try to go see that soon. It looks like a good movie.
Yeah, it just came out. I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
want to watch it too. It looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
Koshy's not funny anymore. And
Well,
Liza,
she got-
Liza on Demand, I watched like
Of course,
3
she's not
mi-
funny anymore. Liza's not as funny either.
Yeah.
No, her show Liza on Demand or whatever.
Yeah.
That YouTube one, terrible too.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
I
she
didn't
got
like
bought
it.
out. It is what it is. She had a mental breakdown, and YouTube was like,
Jeez.
"If Disney can do it, we can do it too." And they
Yeah,
just
right.
bought it.
Capitalize. Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Meet Liza Koshy.
Well, it's true. It's like at the end of the day, I feel bad for her that she had a mental breakdown and she like ripped half her life in half. But it is what it is, and you know, not relevant. It is what it is. Like, look, YouTube's just capitalizing. It is what it is.
And now,
I have very strong
in other
feelings.
news, welcome back to another segment of
Practical life application. Wonderful. So, how do you practically apply excellence in your life? Because, controversial topic, which a lot of people have brought up to me, interestingly enough, which is weird, not everybody can be excellent, which I guess is true. Because to be excellent, you have to be better than the majority of people.
I think that everyone has something to be excellent. You can't be excellent in everything.
Yes.
I think that everyone has something that they can be excellent in.
Well,
Whether they ever find it or not is a different
We'll
conversation.
talk about shots, girl. There's some things that the bar set low where you don't have to really try. You don't have to have the best skills in the world to be excellent. Mm-hmm. It's so true. It's like you just have to go above and beyond.
I think excellence is even relative to to the people around you. If everyone around you, like at Shaw's or at Walmart or wherever, introduce random retail store, if the bar is set, like everyone runs away from you when you have a problem as a customer, and that one person, remember that story I was saying, like that one guy was
at Walmart?
at the Walmart, at Walmart, and he was just like, yeah, down that way, 5 aisles. He was wrong.
Yeah.
But like
He was still excellent.
but it was excellent because he answered
64.
me. Yeah.
Guys, if we worked at Walmart, we'd be the district managers in like less than a
week.
year.
Yo, yeah. Oh man. I don't think you're kidding, man.
I would probably just get a bunch of like Stop and Shop robots. I would go and like trip lease them out from Stop and Shop to bring them to Walmart.
Yes. Outsource the whole of a Walmart.
Yo,
That's it.
and honestly, just put cameras on them. Have one person that's really good at it control like a monitors, and every time and you just speak through the actual robots, and then you're like one
5.
person controls like 17 of them.
Yeah.
And every time you see a person, you just go doop and just hit the button and just start talking. That'd be sick. Anyway,
Eric is very excited for 1984.
Yeah, right.
yes.
I mean, if we're talking about practical application of excellence, I could be that guy who takes like just rewords the answer from the question,
Oh yeah.
like the school thing. What is excellence? Excellence is the result of caring more than others think is wise, risking more than others think is safe, dreaming more than others think is practical,
There you go.
expecting more than others think is possible.
yes.
So just do more than other people. Which is the basic concept of this show as a whole. Is just do more stuff.
I guess that's a benefit of having like a circle around you that, like, you know, they say like, well, we always talk about the 5 closest people, but like if the people around you aren't that great, I guess this is a good moment for you so you can be extra excellent.
Oh, we talk about being an artist. When it says caring more than others think is wise, it's not that you do more stuff; it's you do that one thing more.
Yes.
It's like you want to be an
Yes.
excellent guitarist, play more than everybody else.
Yes.
Practice more than everybody else. You want to be
Absolutely.
excellent painter, paint more pictures.
There's an art and something to be said to people who specialize. When you specialize in something and become a master in that specialty, you're the only person that they can go to for that.
Well, take it as a craft. Well, I mean, we can just take guitar because that's something that I identify with. Care more than others think is wise. It's like you care more about how you sound or what your tone is like or how clean you can play something. Most people are like, no, that was good, that was fine. It's like, no, that wasn't good, that wasn't fine.
Yeah.
There's a little flaw here. I gotta fix that.
Yeah, you really get to see that. Well, I get to see that a lot when I work with musicians, and even some musicians who are like singers in particular. Like I'll hear them sing like something on microphone. I'm like, that was great, it was awesome, and then I could do better, and I'm like, oh, my bad, and I let them do better. But like you really see that in the music world, where like especially in a recording studio, where you see like the excellence come out in people. Where if it's what they truly love to do, they will not stop until they're satisfied, and their level of satisfaction is much different than the people around them.
Go ahead.
It's when the success of achieving excellence is worth more than the cost of it. So like this is a company that's kind of fallen out of favor in the last few years, but Tiffany & Co. is really a major player in this type of scenario where they'll throw out, quote unquote, or sell to other companies diamonds that most people would think are amazing, but Tiffany just doesn't like them because there's one flaw in them or there's some small imperfection. They just don't deal with it. And that's why they charge 3 to 4 times the markup of normal expensive jewelry stores.
Much more waste.
Yeah, because they just throw away a bunch of stuff that everybody would be like, dude, this is gold. And they're like, no, this is trash compared to the stuff that we do. And it's like, that's why they can charge the amount of money that they can charge, because they strive for that excellence.
Right.
Excellence costs money.
Right. And that's risking more than what others think is safe.
Yeah.
If people were being like, oh, like you could sell all these, and Tiffany's like, no, throw them away.
Yep.
Nope, it's fine.
But that's what makes you special. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you stand out in a crowd, because you go that extra length to provide something that no one else is willing to risk.
And they're good in silver. Like they deal with silver and platinum and like very, very little in gold. And it's like they're known for silver. They're just good at silver. And they don't try to spread themselves too thin or do anything too like aggressively. Like, this is our market. This is what we're doing.
If you talk about risking more than others think is safe, if you're investing time or you're investing something, that's risking a lot of time. If you're honing a craft, if you're practicing a trade, if you're doing whatever it is, risking more than others think is safe is like, I need to quit my full-time job so that I can go be a musician in Nashville, or I need to I need to invest all of my free time here and here so that I can try to be excellent. When people be like, I don't know, I don't see the point. I think it's too risky. I don't think you can do that. But it's like that's who separates the, I guess, men from the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about those kind of things, it's a lot harder to be excellent, but only because the level of competition goes up dramatically. Like especially if you were to move to Nashville and be a musician.
That's really true.
Yeah, so you have to like really be aware of what kind of market you're stepping into and what you're going to try to be excellent. And that's where specializing and becoming good at something particular is really what helps you stand out, because everyone's going to be good at something.
There's this term called, I think it's either the Harvard line or the Ivy line, where it's all like 80% of Ivy League students think they're in the lower 25% or something around those lines. And it's like, it's you go from being the best person in your small pond to being average in a bigger pond. Because you take, and we talk about the standard deviations, where it's like, okay, you take a high school, and like you have the valedictorian, and the valedictorian gets accepted to Harvard, but Harvard only accepts valedictorians. So you then get put into this pool of people who are all valedictorians, and then even if the deviation is 1 point, you're now on a different bell curve where the best is the best and the worst is the worst.
Yeah.
But there's only 1 or 2 points difference between the best and the worst.
Well, we talk about tolerances all the time, and it's like, I mean, I keep going back to China, and I think about like cheap Chinese turbos that you could buy on eBay to like hop up your car. It's like, does the turbo work? Yeah. Are there a lot of casting flaws? Yeah.
Yeah.
The level of tolerance is much lower than if you bought like a precision turbo or like a Garrett turbo in America. It's like, oh well, this is really like high quality stuff.
It also costs a quarter of the price.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. So absolutely, you have to. These are the things you have to take into account, where quality comes with it. You know what I mean? You have to take the sacrifice in order to get something at that low cost. In order to get something to be at that bare minimum price, like you're sacrificing quality by probably if it's a quarter of the price, usually you're sacrificing 3/4 of the quality of what it could be. Yeah.
And not only are you buying quality, you're buying understanding and knowledge in a field. It's like the reason why you buy a specific type of guitar is because the person who's making it knows how to make guitars.
Yeah.
It's like I can go on eBay right now or Amazon and have a guitar here tomorrow.
For like $57.
Exactly. And then we go and it's all like, okay, you have to special order this guitar. We have to measure how long your arms are. We have to measure how long all of this stuff. Like we got to make sure that the guitar fits to your body, and it's going to take 6 to 8 months, and then we'll send it to you overnight via like thing. And it's like
or
10 grand.
Or from Amazon, like, why do my fingers bleed?
Yeah. Exactly.
Why does it sound bad?
And it's like, well, what's the difference between a $10,000 guitar and a $50 guitar? And there's a lot of things that are different.
They're both guitars, guy.
Yeah, and it's all like, for somebody who doesn't know anything about guitars, like me, there is no difference. But you have to understand the craftsmanship and the amount of effort that went into that product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dreaming more than others think is practical.
There are so many people who will stomp on people's dreams.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
You can't build a tunnel under the 405 and shoot your car through an airless space at 200 miles an hour.
Yes, I can.
Bet.
Bet. Elon, no.
No, Elon, you can't drill a hole. No, but it's so sad, and it's like, I understand the concept of being safe with the things that you do. And I see this a lot with like parents and like children, where it's all like, okay, yeah, well, you can play soccer professionally. There are about 150 people who do that, or whatever the normal amount. I'm sure there's more than 150 people, but nonetheless, there's a nominal amount of people who play professional soccer and get paid for it. You're probably not going to be one of those people. So play soccer, but also study math. And it's like, I don't really think that's a nice way to incite children.
Well, I mean, if a kid's not really that good either, like there's one thing to be delusional, and you look at your kid and your kid's like fumbling and bumbling. I'm gonna be a professional soccer player. It's like, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be a professional soccer player, buddy. Like here, just eat your Kit Kat and.
Well, fair enough. There's a difference between innate skill and crafted ability, though. Where it's like you could take somebody who absolutely okay, I could learn how to play an instrument, whatever. It would be a pain, and it would take so much time and so much effort. But if I decided, like if I personally decided, and I said, I'm going to spend 80 hours a week learning guitar.
Oh, you would kill it.
For the next 4 years.
Yeah.
You'd crush it.
Exactly. But like, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are willing to do that.
The other thing about dreams, dreaming to that capacity, you have to be very careful with who you share those with,
Yes.
because
That's
everyone's out there to kill them.
It's true.
Yeah, so you have to really have a set group of individuals that you truly trust, and these are the people that you share your dreams with. I'm sure Elon Musk, when he thought of this idea, he didn't roll down the window and start asking everybody in traffic.
He live
right.
tweeted it.
Yeah, well,
Hey, listen, if there's anybody who actually
Yeah.
who actually would want to agree with you, it's probably everybody stuck in traffic on the 405.
Yeah.
maybe,
Like, yeah, let's make that tunnel, guy. I don't want to be here anymore.
I have a spoon. Let's start digging.
yeah, right?
It is interesting.
But you have to be very careful who you share these ideas with, because there's a lot of people who will listen to them and then be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. They don't ever work. Stop trying.
Absolutely. And I think everybody's created with an innate dream. You have something inside of you that makes you tick, that is the dream of your heart, the very sole purpose of your life. And if you haven't dreamed to the point of finding that thing that makes you tick, I wanna encourage everybody. Go ahead and start dreaming. Go ahead and tuck in all the little loose corners of your life so that you can free up your mental CPU. So that once you're okay and you're stable and you're foundational and all of the little aspects in your life are taken care of, so you don't have those things sucking on you, those being comfortable, being, we had a show about that. Anyways, once you get those loins of your mind girded up, start dreaming.
Yeah.
Say, if I could do one thing in my life for the rest of my life, what would I do? What makes me tick?
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of change.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are really afraid of change. We use the example, like, there was a season of my life I wanted to be a surgeon. And I just didn't tell a lot of people about that because it wasn't a long enough season for me to actually care. But it's like that was something that I was legitimately thinking about, and it was like, okay, I was in computer science at that time, and I was like, okay, what about medical school? And I went through the phases, and it was like I wasn't afraid of the change. It was just something that I actually didn't end up wanting to do, and I think people are afraid of the concept of all of the stuff that I've invested time in, all of the things that I've done up until this point are now not really useful anymore, and I have to switch everything, and they do like this cost-benefit analysis. But you have to remember, you have to be happy in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
And a lot of people have like given up dreaming, or if they dreamt at one point and now they're 20 blank and they don't want to dream anymore because they got their original dream got crushed. This is a part of it. There are things that aren't meant to hit the light. Some things are just supposed to be lessons, and we're supposed to fail so that we can get to the actual prize. But you have to learn through something else, and I could speak from experience. So it's okay to keep on dreaming, even though the original dream got let off a cliff.
Yeah.
I
think that's the hard part too, is getting back off the horse if your dream ends up off course.
Yeah. Well, that was a good episode, guys.
Yeah. We'll get back into that another time.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Life Podcast Show. We really appreciate all your support. We meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning just to talk and share our perspectives on everyday life situations. If you haven't already, please share this with your friends and give them a chance to join the conversation. Also, if you liked what you heard today, rate our podcast. The higher the rating, the longer we can keep this going. And a special thanks to our future sponsors that will soon partner with us on this journey. If anyone would like to contact us, please email us at thelifepodcastshow@gmail.com. One word. That's thelifepodcastshow@gmail.com. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.